The third one is actually the term expectancy. So I kind of said expectation, but expectancy is an actual math formula that's used for your average win, your average loss times the number of each of those. And that comes down to an expectancy number. It's a very simple calculation that we could almost put this as, I can almost move this up to number one because it's such a valuable number, and there's so many other figures that systematic traders use as far as cumulative average returns, Sharpe ratio, standard deviation of returns, etc. Cumulative or expectancy is a simpler and very straightforward figure that also has the benefit where when you have a single trade on, while that trade is on, it's very, very difficult to think about the fact that this is 1 out of 1,000 trades. There's going to be 1,000 entries and exits that you're going to experience on a system or through some approach to the market. And when you look at each trade as if whether or not this one works out, or whether if 60% of the next 10 trades or 80% of the next 10 trades work, that has some kind of weight on the system. When the reality is it's over 1,000, you need to know that every time you pull the trigger, that you're not going to achieve a specific return that is your expectancy number, but you need to psychologically say, as long as I do this right, as long as I follow my rules, as long as I do what I'm supposed to do with this trade, I need to just know that I'm racking up my expectancy number. That every time I do it right, I just say, I earned $23 on this trade because that's my expectancy in this system. Whether or not you lost 10 or you made 60, it doesn't matter. You say my expectancy is $23 per trade, and that's the psychology you have behind using expectancy rather than how often you're right. The fourth one is volatility, which is not necessarily the volatility of the instrument you trade, but it's actually the volatility of returns. So it's basically, it's not simple math, but it is simply proven with math that if you have less volatility of returns, so fewer of your trades are outliers, most of your profits aren't generated from 1 or 2 big wins, and you don't have these sudden larger losses than usual. When you can eliminate those, you have less outliers, you have a better probability of that system working for years and years to come. So looking at different ways of volatility of returns is something that we do. Which one am I on? 5. 5 is frequency. So that is partially psychology, also has to do with transaction costs, that a higher frequency system, especially as a retail trader, instantly has lower probabilities of success because your ratio of cost to expectancy goes up. So that is one of the things behind frequency. Also, your ability to execute, if you're taking the trades manually, goes down because on paper it looks wonderful. In the real world, you realize that sometimes you're sick, sometimes you go to the bathroom, sometimes the power goes out, and there's a lot of things where you can't mess with your statistics because of the fact that you aren't a machine. The sixth one is duration.